All right, good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Welcome to Activated Mornings for another wonderful Wednesday morning. Maybe we should do that. It's a wonderful Wednesday. All right, you're tuned into WEFM 99.9. This is Activated Mornings for today, the 13th day of September 2023. You know, I could put my head on the block and say that today is somebody's birthday. I'm absolutely sure it is. If you're celebrating a birthday or an anniversary, happy birthday or anniversary right now. All right, so the number to call is 457-9997 to get interactive with us. The WhatsApp number is 457-9994. My name is Christal. I'm your host, taking you up until 9:45 thereabout this morning. And in studio with me this morning, we've got Miss Roliza and Mr. Ari. Good morning, lady and gentlemen. Welcome.
All right. Good morning, Christal, and
Go ahead.
All right. Good morning, Christal, and good morning to our listening audience. And I trust that so far everybody has been having a good morning.
All right, Ari.
Well, good morning to Christal. Alicia, sorry.
Roliza.
Wow.
Don't fight me.
That's a new twist to my name. Don't worry.
Roliza listeners, it's Roliza. Good morning, Christal, Roliza. Good morning, everyone who's tuned in this morning to WEFM. Hope that everyone's having a blessed morning. Christal is dying.
Yeah.
No, it's an unusual twist to my name.
Listen, my name has 3 letters. So
yeah,
I'm used to the
variations.
Yes, I'm not used to the complications of names. So yeah, you have to
bear with you.
Forgive me, please.
I'm gonna try.
He was singing the song by Casey Jojo all my life. I've only known 3 letters. I'm laughing because perhaps we might need to give you a name tag until he gets it.
Listen, mine is only 3 syllables. All right, but saying row is fine. Row is fine.
And somebody might say row your boat. No,
That's okay.
Really?
Really? That's as well too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's something I would do. And they'll be joining us this morning. All right. Now, Piccadilly Shoes. Good morning to all the Lanes customers and the staff at Edwin D. Lanes and Sons. They're back at Lanes with 25% off. You can walk in style and comfort in a Piccadilly shoe. Get your Piccadilly shoe at Lanes before they're all gone. Lanes, your family store for value. And just to share a thought with you really quickly, what is today? Today's Wednesday. May today be one of those days when you remind yourself that all along you have been strong. Oh, I felt that one to the core. Okay. So this morning, oh my goodness me. You know, there are days when you have, not that you don't have anything to talk about, but there are some days where the stories are just few and far between, and other days where there's just so many things to chit chat about. But this morning is one of those days. This morning is one of those days. But let's start off with football. I want to say congratulations to St. Vincent and the Grenadines Football Federation, won. And congrats to Vinci Heat. They played a match yesterday in the Nations League CONCACAF qualifying matches against Bermuda at the Annisville Sporting Complex. And they won the match 4-3, scoring 3 in the first half and 1 in the second. I actually attended the match. I had my heart in my hand for the entire game. I forgot football was that exciting. Football fans, yeah? No,
I'm sorry.
What was the final score?
4-3.
Okay.
4-3.
Okay. That's why your hat was in your hand. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, so Bermuda scored the first goal, and then St. Vincent and the Grenadines came back with 3 goals in the first half. So it was 3-1. I'm like, yeah, we got this. Shout out to Olex. Olex Anderson scored 3. And funnily, on one of his goals, he actually took off his shirt. So he got a yellow card
Okay.
for stripping. But I find constructive criticism, and I'm pretty sure that other persons would agree with me who attended the match yesterday. I find that in the second half, they kind of laid back. They became a little bit laid back. allowing Bermuda. Bermuda became more aggressive naturally because they're
Right.
behind,
Right.
and allowing Bermuda to score 2 goals on them. So that's why my heart was in my hand too, because like, oh my gosh, it cannot be that they're coming back. Nonetheless, they've got and they won the first one away, the first one at home. They have about 5 more matches, male and female, mixed between male and female in SVG. So 26th of September is the next one. So maybe you guys should. Yeah, no, yeah,
Listen,
no.
no. So my thing is, right. Once Vinci is competing anywhere, I would
Mhm.
cheer, I would support. Right, maybe from the background, not necessarily attending, but of course,
Okay.
we rep them. But I've never really been into sports, so
Have you ever
yeah.
gone to a football match?
I don't think so. No,
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 you
maybe
should. You
not.
should. You should
Yeah.
do it.
Maybe I guess into it
26th
if
of
I do that.
September. Yeah.
Right.
Have you ever gone to football?
Yeah, I saw forums and the matches they would have in Victoria Park from time to time, but I
Oh.
cannot say that I am a fan.
Oh,
I go where they like me.
We're a fan of Vinci, right?
I'm a-
That's what we are. Fans of
Yes,
Vinci.
and those,
Yeah.
those competitions are Vinci versus Vinci. So
Okay,
I
right.
just go
Oh.
in where they like me.
Okay.
oh, I see what is happening here. So once again, congrats. Now that's football. We're gonna move on to what happened last night.
Hmm.
Across the skies, like a star across the sky. So apparently there was a comet that passed by last night, maybe yesterday in some parts of the world. But did any of you see it?
No, I only heard about it after the fact. But I don't know. I read an article and I think it was mostly visible in the Villa area. So, I didn't get to see it.
I was in Tongue Hill and I saw it.
You saw it? Okay.
And-
How did it
Wow.
look?
Listen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but that was not
We were being invaded.
what I believe a comet looks like. The
Okay.
sky went a greenish,
Yeah.
green, bluish color. The
Uh-huh.
entire sky lit up, and this thing shot across. It looked like a spaceship.
So we were
shooting
invaded.
across. I am not saying that, but it did not look right.
Okay.
And it was really close because
Uh-huh.
where I was in Tongue Hill, I saw it was going to crash Sand Hill Bay. It
Okay.
looked really close.
And then you see something like walking out of the water down there.
Yeah.
Listen, I would be in Beckley.
You'd be in backward?
You think it's safer in backward?
Hopefully.
You think it just came to Vinci?
Hopefully they can't swim. They're mainlanders, hopefully.
They
Okay.
probably can't pass Beckwith Channel. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I really
feel so
completely missed
sad.
it. Yeah.
I wanted to join the bandwagon of, oh, Jesus is coming. He's
Yeah.
coming soon. But I didn't get to. I only heard about it. I saw videos though. There are
Mm.
some
Yeah, I
videos.
saw
Yeah.
photos and videos. And
I think I really would have panicked. So God knows what he was doing.
listen,
No, I might have thought that God was coming for his word. And then it's time I start to pray a little harder,
listen.
So,
I was with my best friend at the time,
mm.
and I'm looking at it. I'm like, "Yo, did you see that?" She's like, "Yeah, I saw that. Did you see that?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I saw. Did that look like a spaceship? What was that?" Then I went on to social media and I saw the stories,
Yeah.
and it was predicted to pass around the time. And
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It's a
Yes.
thing. When these things are happening, I wish people would tell me so
Oh,
that I
yes.
could actually be, around to try to witness it.
Right,
Because
it's
where I was, I
all
want to
Sit
see it
down
at
there and
all.
wait.
It's on
Yeah, no, I
BBC.
would have waited. Trust me.
It has a name, Comet Nishimura,
Yeah, yeah.
discovered by I'm sorry, my Japanese not strong. Hideo Jam Nishimura last month, or August 11th, he was stargazing and he saw it.
It pays to stargaze, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. I wonder if he got paid to have
Do
it
they
in his
get
name,
paid?
you know?
Oh, you mean to name to
Yeah,
be named for it?
to be
Okay,
named.
right.
Oh,
The closest I've ever seen to anything was a shooting star, but nothing else so dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was beautiful but scary because I did not know what that was.
You started praying.
I
It was
telling-
beautiful after the fact, right?
You
After
started
the
praying.
fact, I was telling Christal off air, it looked like when in Star Wars and those fictional movies, the ship is going into hyperspace. I just saw
Oh.
it shoot and it seemed to have like a trail.
Uh-huh.
It was scary.
Right.
So this is my theory, right? This is all part of the big plan. We got global warming. It's been the
Who's big
warmest.
plan?
I don't know who's plan. All right. But you see all these things that are happening that are really so awkward. I think it's just all a part of the plan. This year was the hottest year in like 129 years in record, right? And then we have this comment that we're seeing. Yeah, Repent.
Oh, but just thinking now we're living through a very special era that we are getting to witness a lot of
Excuse
things.
me, I have had
No, you don't
enough
want that?
witnessing, okay?
Yeah,
Let
I
me
don't
tell
wanna
y'all
witness
something
anything.
right now. I have had enough. We've had COVID, we've had volcano.
Right. Yeah. No, the volcano is the only one I don't want to have repeated. I was looking for something a bit more dramatic. Having to deal with the ash. No, that I
You were
don't
looking
ever
for
want
something more
I don't know
dramatic
what
from
you,
the volcano.
No, listen, I think the thing of it is that, when you look at it on television, I think my image of what it was supposed to be was different. So then when I
Like-
realized it's just ash, I'm
Well-
like, this is what we have to deal with, cleaning up ash, So I say I don't ever want to have to live through that in my lifetime ever again.
It could have been worse. Like, lava flow.
But that's
And
the thing,
what's
our
not.
volcano isn't that type of volcano. We're just ash.
I'll take the ash
Was
anyway.
there ash around the station at the time?
Oh, I wasn't here.
Oh,
I was.
More
But
than likely, though.
There
More
was
than
ash
likely.
everywhere. There was
Yeah.
ash in Barbados too. So ash was everywhere.
I wasn't.
I
on
think people
island.
still cleaning up to now
Oh,
and still
okay.
fine. Sorry, you were what?
Oh,
I said I wasn't on island, and my sister she called me and she was like,
You're lucky.
"Well,
yeah, you
Then
missed
so
you
she
missed
was
all
like-
of that cleaning.
I don't think you missed it.
I feel like I didn't experience this.
You
this
don't need
eruption
to,
because
nah.
there's
You wanna
no
go back
ash.
in
What
time
will
and
I
come
tell my
home?
children? That's what my sister
Nah,
said.
there
to me.
there isn't anything to retell. I was disappointed. I guess mostly because I had to do all this cleaning, but I was disappointed. So we could skip
I
that.
saw that from a distance.
We could skip that event.
Wow. I just don't want any more of these traumatic experiences or
No more
any
stories
of
to tell
these-
your grandchildren.
You are in luck.
the amount of
Comment.
stories that we have to tell our grandchildren. It's amazing.
According to BBC, the comet takes 437 years to do one lap of our solar system.
And you
And
you
I
saw
missed
it.
that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you saw it.
I'm
There
gonna
might
try
be
to
more,
drink
who
some
knows?
bush tea
There might be
to
more.
try stick around for the next one. All right, so some other trending stories here. Good morning, officers. Good morning to the. Why y'all
The
laughing?
entire force.
The entire Ross and Vincent Valley Grenadiers Police Force. Hello, good morning, SSU, RRU, the ones on the beat. Who else is there? The corporals, the sergeants, the
The ASPs.
ASPs, commissioner. Good morning. So, a police promotion list is out. I did not see my name on it. I'm very upset about that. My name would never been it. Anyways, so the list is out, and there are a couple stories that are online. But it seems to me that some people are not too pleased about some of the names or lack thereof on the list. So let's chit chat about that for a few minutes. We have about 3 to 5 minutes before we take the break. So let's go with that. The list.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're looking at different articles. It's the same content basically on
Mhm.
different media sites. But I think one of the things that has always been of interest is the grounds for these promotions. There seems to be no merit, no transparency. You don't know how officers end up being promoted. And when you have to think about it in the whole grand scheme of things, like if I've been in an organization for 10 plus years, as an individual, based on merit, of course, I would be looking for a promotion, right?
Mhm.
If I'm constantly being overlooked, then what motivates me to do work? I think
Mhm,
sometimes that we look at things, we're looking at crime and we're looking at the causes of crime or even the way in which matters are handled. And it's not to say that police officers are not trying, but sometimes I wonder what is their incentive to keep going further or to even put in the extra effort. Yes, they would have a lack of resources, etc. But
Mhm.
if I am a hard worker, if I have these training courses that I would have attended, acquired knowledge over the years while being in the force, and I'm constantly being overlooked, why should I stay?
Well, a few things with that, right? I don't believe in promoting because of number of years in the service.
Correct. This right.
You could be provided mediocre service or service for 10, 15, 20 years. That just because you're there for 10, 15, 20 years doesn't mean that you should automatically get
Right.
promotion.
Right, but this is
You
why
have
I
to
said
be
it was
working.
based on merit. It
Right.
has to be based on
Right,
merit.
right.
Mhm.
Additionally, the transparency there, police promotions, and those internal things, those are
They
things that
are
happen,
right.
right?
They are.
So is it for us here outside to ask them to justify why does this person get promoted and not that person?
But then, what is the method that's being used? Is it an exam that's being set? What constitutes somebody being promoted?
Well, that's something we have to ask either the commissioner or those
Right.
in
So
charge of.
yeah, and I think sometimes the police force ends up losing a lot of the good officers based on this.
I think it's a lot more than that. Why they
It's
lose
but
officers? Like for example, the water wetting you while you're sleeping at the one of those HQs, but that's another day. That's for another day.
In my opinion, the officers they're placed there to protect us. They're supposed to serve us. So I do think that we should know what are the merits, what's the basis for these promotions. Why? Because if it is that they're there for our safety as citizens, then we should know how do they get these positions? What's necessary? And well, we know that the stories that making the rounds of the comments a popular lawyer Grant Connell made about the prosecutor, I believe it is, yes, the Serious Offences Court Officer Shamrock
Pierre, I
Pear.
think.
Now, Eyewitness News has a story here, if you don't mind me reading it. The story starts. Pear deserves a promotion. He has over 20 years of service and has been an acting corporal for 6 years. Connell pointed out that Pierce has been assigned to Caliaco, Barley, Layu, Chateaubelair, Beckway, Union Island, and Canawan.
Merciless.
Yes. over his tenure. And Eyewitness News has a piece of information in their story where they say they understand that some senior officers are displeased with Pear for failing to obey an order from a senior officer, to withdraw a charge of driving without due care and attention against a prominent retired executive. Pear is said to have told the messenger that on the issue of withdrawing charges, he takes his instructions from the Director of Public Prosecutions, the DPP, rather than his senior officers in the force, which I agree with. And the matter came up in court. The defendant did not turn up. Pear made an application for a bench warrant, and the court issued the bench warrant. Pear took the principled position, although he had been previous passed over for promotion, allegedly for disobeying a similar order to withdraw a traffic charge against someone in Beckway a few years ago.
People in Beckway got traffic charges?
Apparently.
Yeah.
So Searchlight said that during this discourse where Connell is advocating for Pear said nothing. Because Connell was saying to the chief magistrate that she should advocate for these police prosecutors to be promoted.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys say.
Well, I think part of
rather
it,
tricky.
him saying it in court may have, because he knows that their reporters are wrong, that it would have made the news,
Yes,
So I think indirectly, Mr. Connell is trying to advocate through the media, for these promotions. But I don't know. It pains my heart for some of these officers. It really does. Yes, of course, it's not just going to be based on your years of service. And one of the interesting things that I've always noticed is, like when you hear a death announcement, or even when the officers, when the police department themselves puts out these statements to say that, somebody has done 10 plus years, and you still see them as constables. And
that
in my
always,
mind,
like,
and that was the thing in
what
my
are you
mind
not doing?
before, exactly.
Yeah.
Before in my mind, having to interact with police officers in a previous area of employment, I'd be there like, so you must have been wasting all your time for all these 10 plus 20 years, because why is it that you're still at a constable level? But then you realize as you interact with officers and so forth, it's a lot more to it than just me not performing. You can be performing and still be overlooked, So
I would leave.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But
that's
the
that's
thing.
why.
But then that contributes to the issue that we have officers to still protect, yes. But are they actually willing to go above and beyond?
Some of them
Listen.
are. When you speak to them, some of
Mm.
them they do.
There's
They
a
go
part
above
of the
and
story
beyond.
here that's very interesting.
Tell
Mm.
me.
They said Corporal LaFleur Williams, who was a policewoman of the year in 2022, and Detective Sergeant Bjorn Duncan, who was policeman of the year 2022 and was adjudged the second best crime fighter from 25 member countries in the region. They were not promoted.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
They were not promoted according to Eyewitness News. Or was it Connell? Either way.
Well, it's part of this story,
It's part of
right?
this story.
I think that's what Eyewitness was highlighting as
Yes.
well. People who would have gotten awards, and maybe he's trying, or she, I don't know who wrote the article here. Maybe they're trying to also justify or say, listen, y'all read between the lines. Not even if you get a regional award
Mhm.
that warrants or that is enough for you to get promoted. So it don't make no sense. But I remember earlier this year, the fact or the issue of police officers leaving the force was addressed in terms of trying to find a solution to the problem. Now, why do officers leave the force? One, this.
Mhm.
Now,
Mm.
I want to say maybe human emotions. Maybe one or two of them in between, they might be a little jealous. That's natural, right? But for the most part, coming out from what you hear and what you read, there are one or two in there that people could justify. Okay, if they were in the position, they would have gotten promoted. And there are some other stories in there that would justify the promotion as well. But I think there's a bigger problem here that we need to address. Not so much to find reasons why officers leave the force, but to actually fix them.
And just to say something here, though, we're not saying, because of course we don't have that inside information to say that the persons who have been promoted on this list
Yes.
aren't deserving of their promotion. Now, let's
Yes.
just make that
Yeah.
clear.
Mhm.
But I think for us, we always question. I've always questioned, how does the promotion happen? What is the basis for the promotion? So
Who
it's not to
promotes?
take away. It's not to take away from those who have been recently promoted. Let's give them their congrats. Those who are deserving of it, let's give them their congrats.
You know what?
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
Congrats to the officers that were promoted.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys
Oh
worked
gosh.
hard to get to where
I feel bad now
Yeah,
because because
No,
okay.
no, no.
So no. No, okay. I feel bad now because the promotions list is out, and instead of giving light to those who actually got
Right.
promoted, here we are raining on the parade.
Yeah, but you see, it still goes
Raining
back
on
to,
a parade.
Yeah, it still goes back to all we want to know is how these promotions happen. Let's just leave it at that. What is the basis for the promotions?
Mhm.
So yeah. Sorry guys, sorry, I'm sorry,
No,
No,
I'm sorry.
you're
no.
right. Because we really should lead with the positive news
Right,
first.
right.
Congrat-
And then
congrat the
questions
officers.
after.
They-
So let's
I'm
rewind
sure
and
they
come
worked
again.
hard, but we should know the criteria.
Yeah. So guys, for the listening audience, just reverse the whole conversation that we've been having. All right. Yeah, just
If it were that easy. But congratulations to all of the officers who were promoted. Congratulations as well to all the officers who stay within the force even beyond that 10-year mark. Because I think at 10 years, you have the option of staying or leaving.
Yeah.
After 20 years, there's another option
right.
there.
Yeah.
Those who stick around despite of the many challenges that they face on a day-to-day basis. We've heard of the challenges. We know what they are. Those that the police, and that's another thing with the officers, their hands are kind of tied. What do you call that? It's not a pun. Their hands are tied. Anyways, there are things that might be happening, and they would really love for the public to know, so that they could get a bit of support, but they just cannot say it because they're not allowed to speak. Which might be the reason why this gentleman here, or maybe why Grant Connell was speaking up.
Mhm.
And you said, I think that's something else to where he spoke up.
Because he knew
because
that
there
there were
were
reporters around that it would
listeners,
be right.
right?
Draw some attention to it.
I know some people they don't like the po, right? But they are working under some serious conditions.
Mhm.
And the
Remember,
thing of it is, the police, they're not far and removed from us because they're our family, they're our friends, so we would hear things coming out from them. We would hear their stories, So a lot of us would still be able to empathize, I suppose.
yeah,
Empathize with them. So, we know that there are many of you out there who are trying your best based on whatever circumstances and the resources that you have, but I just know that from a personal standpoint that if I know that I'm doing my best and I'm constantly being overlooked, then yeah, I may have to say sayonara.
According
So.
to
yeah, that's what
Donnell,
some people do. They go
Yeah.
in some other Caribbean
Yeah.
islands where the salary is much higher.
Mhm.
I know officers who've gone to St. Kitts, who've gone to Grenada. Connell is saying here there are officers join the army. I know officers who joined the army.
Who wouldn't?
If you're not getting promoted, you're not seeing a reason pay, you're
That's only
working
that.
odd hours, you're putting your life at risk, and you're in the same position for more than 10 years, you can't blame them
Yeah.
for leaving.
Yeah. You can't.
A lot has to change.
Yeah, a lot really should change. And they should be more open with the public about what the criteria is for these promotions. Because we should know as well.
I wonder if I gotta ask that tomorrow, boy. There'll be
Why
I don't
not?
even know what the
Why
topic
not?
is for cup chat
just throw
tomorrow.
it in and
Just-
just throw it in, they can choose to respond or not, but just
Is
throw
a
it
senior
in.
officer for cop chat?
Hi?
Is it a senior officer?
I'm not sure what is happening. Cup chat later on today. We'll know. I'll know. Or maybe later on this morning as well.
Hopefully it's
I know.
someone who can respond and let
That's
us
what I
know.
tell you. Sometimes, even though they can't, they
They
can't.
can't, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
They can't. It's like working with the public service. Once you're in the public service, you
Or working
cannot
with
say
any
certain-
organization, actually,
You
it's
should
like,
invite-
yeah,
You
you.
invite someone who's about to retire, has nothing to lose.
Hey now.
No, there's a bond. There might be a bond.
Hey
there.
now. They sign a contract,
Yes.
It says in there XYZ you're not supposed to da. Nothing
Even
with the
after?
media.
Even after.
Maybe
There are
after.
some
But
persons,
by the
yeah.
time they're gone, they probably don't care anymore.
Yeah, exactly. We have former commissioners, we have former corporals. we
You have high
form-
hopes, boy.
I have high hopes.
Real high
I
hopes.
have high hopes for answers, but
I
you have to
wonder-
be positive.
I wonder if the Police Welfare Association, if this falls under something that they can address, because they're supposed to be there for police welfare for these sort of issues: living conditions, salary, working hours, other forms of compensation, medicals, and so on. So maybe this is something that officers who are not satisfied, maybe they could go through that channel. Go to the police welfare and see if they can get some resolve. But even that too, the police welfare, they would still have, they could do as much as they can, but they would still have a bit of, they have to wait. They're dependent on, again.
And then there is only so much they can disclose to the public, or they're
Yeah.
willing to disclose to the public.
Yep.
So yeah, but we're just throwing it out there. So
Between a rock
We
and a
see.
hard place.
we shall see.
All right, so it's 8:43. We're due for a break at this time, so that's what we're gonna take, and then we're gonna come right back. Stay tuned.
WEFM is SVG.
Some of our most precious treasures, the crown jewels, the epitome of elegance. Saturday, October 7th, 8 p.m., Victoria Park. Miss SVG 2023 Crown Jewels. 9 magnificent ladies vying for the coveted Miss SVG crown. Letitia Barber, Miss Grenadine House. Denicia Botswain, Miss Metrosin General Insurance Limited. Deanna Fairbairn, Miss Play 4. Arena Foy, Miss Massey Stores Limited. Trina Hooper, Miss National Lotteries Authority. Lion Laborde, Miss Flo. Samisha Millington, Miss Caress Ace Hardware. Tara Richardson, Miss JCI St. Vincent. And Royisha Telemac, Miss In Transit Exports. Early bird ticket tickets $60. Pre-sold at $75. Ticket outlets, the Lotta booth at Peacemo, Four Shells, Chill Spot, Johnny's Barbershop, VJ's Restaurant, Video Extreme Entice, and Terrence Auto Care. Miss SVG 2023 Crown Jewels, Saturday, October 7th, 8 p.m., Victoria Park.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we serve, we will hear. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses call upon us, we will hear. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
So fast pay, on you an easy way to pay. So fast pay, so fast pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow, it's now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
So fast pay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. So fast pay, so fast pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
It's everything you'll ever want from everywhere. Real easy. Shop on the net. Use eZone internet delivery. Get your online shopping delivered right to your door. A revolution, your evolution. Go shop the world. eZone, eZone. From everywhere. Real easy. eZone, eZone. Go shop fast, the world. Easy, affordable. Shop on the net and get it here through the eZone.
eZone St. Vincent, local agent to BMC agencies.
It's a long pass from Javin Sutherland up to Alex Stewart. Alex Stewart over to Onyx Anderson. Anderson Jones pass the defender. He shoots. He scores. Goal, 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 goal. It's the 2023 Nations League qualifiers for both men and women. Back-to-back football for the rest of the year. September, October, November, and December. Football has got you covered. Vinci Heat takes on Belize, Bermuda, and French Guiana in home and away games. And there's more. Lady Heat takes on Bermuda, Dominican Republic, and Barbados. It's the Nations League qualifiers. Follow our social media pages for more information at SVG Football Federation and Instagram at SVGFF_football. It's Football Mania. Stay tuned for more information.
99.9 WEFM.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, nah. Blessing. Yeah, yeah. Blessing. Watch ya. As I wake up is a blessing. Food on my table is a blessing. As I wake up is a blessing. Food on my table is a blessing. I say, blessings I feel come my way. Blessings I fling down for me. Blessings I feel come daily. Blessings I fall on for me. I don't fear, no negative energy. No, when bad mind want to talk, yo, just slow them make them talk. So, cause when you see the Father bless you, there's no one could take it from you. Cause when I wake up is a blessing. Food on my table is a blessing. As I wake up is a blessing. Food on my table is a blessing. Blessings all on me. Blessings over me. Blessings all on me. Blessings over me. Blessings all on me. Blessings over me. Blessings all over me. Yo. Cause when you see the Father bless you, no one could take it from you. When you see the Father bless you. There's no one could take it from you. Cause when food on my table is a blessing. As I wake up is a blessing. Food on my table is a blessing. Your good vibes, no negative vibes. Your good vibes, more positive vibes. Watch out, we don't make nice. Silence is wise. They love my life. If you just be wise. Every Sunday we just pray. Come right back from to Sunday. And nothing now go stress way. God the Father don't bless way. And them old that can't catch way. And we tell them to run way. Every day is a blessed day. And just watch how we stress free. As I wake up is a blessing. Food on my table is a blessing. As I wake up is a blessing. Food on my table is a blessing. Yeah. Yes, it's a blessing in life. You must be strong. It's a blessing. No. Family got life, you have everything. It's a blessing. That's the most important thing. Life. It's a blessing. Yeah. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Nah. It's a blessing.
Good morning once again. Welcome back. We got 9 more minutes, right? Now, fortunately or unfortunately, we're gonna give this 9 minutes to
And I'm set in the mood already.
we're gonna give this 9 minutes to hold on. Right. To this guy who's quite popular, but I'm not sure if it's for the right reasons. His alias is Maxi Priest. I could feel it. I could feel it.
I need to send the force a little bit stronger right now.
No, I can feel it. So remember yesterday, I was talking about how there might be a situation where Maxi Priest got himself in a bit of trouble because there was a post on social media speaking to him allegedly attacking somebody and wounding them, right? And well, it's officially out now, coming from IWN again. Maxi Priest will go behind bars and sit down, possibly sober up for wounding. Now, his right name, his government name is Roland McDonald. Maxi 51.
51 years old of stubs.
You 51 and behaving so?
Bit wrong, do that.
Hey, behave yourself. Right? 2 years, 9 months in prison. What's your time in this place? Now it was handed down on Monday. He pleaded guilty to a charge that on August 30th, so far away. Wow. It's so long ago? It feels like long ago.
That wasn't long ago. So
Like
probably 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
a
ago.
week and a half, maybe.
At Stubbs, he unlawfully and maliciously wounded a 35-year-old laborer. No, big man like you, seriously, it's 50, that could be your son though, because
he targets not a bad there, so you proving he badness.
Look at his famous pose.
How about that?
Father God in heaven, let me make this sign of the cross. So it says here the court heard that Richards and McDonald, who knew each other very well, probably too well, were they friends anymore?
Right.
Were at judge's bar called The Gap. I know that bar. Big up yourself. At PM, there was another. Right, there was another customer there with whom McDonald was interfering, and Richards asked him to behave himself. So Maxi Priest,
Listen,
he tends to be I don't want to say troublesome, But from my interaction, right? So this one time I was at the bus stop and he was passing in a car and I thought he looked at me. I don't know who he was looking at, but he was looking my direction. And he puts his head out of the car and he shouts something. But that's how he is. He will just like, no, you know. And he would just say something very random to you when he sees you. If I think once you make eye contact with him, he will just interact with you. So this is not too far fetched from the Max Priest that I have encountered. Bearing in mind that I have not encountered him a million times. I don't socialize with him or anything. It's just what you see online and the one or two times in between that I've seen him in person. Now, he decided for to continue to harass the customer. He approached McDonald again about his behavior, and both men got into an altercation. So this is the guy trying to calm things down. Oh, apparently. Oh, and then he was stabbed multiple times about his body. One of the photographs that I saw, there was quite a long scar.
Yes, I
on the
saw
neck.
them too. Yes, that looked horrible. And then he reposted it. Sorry. No, people
I'm
have this
leaving.
like a joke. But reading this story, this is something that we all could see playing out.
Mm.
He comes into the bar, he's doing his usual, making trouble. Guy says to him, hey, relax yourself now. Nah, you can't tell me relax.
He relaxed for a bit though.
They in a scramble, a scuffle. He's stabbing the man, and he feels good about the stabbing because usually they do until they confront the judge.
Until they realize they have to go to jail.
Until they realize. Now he in 2 years, 9 months. 2 years.
Can I say that I'm sad about this situation? No.
Is that sarcasm, really? So?
No. All right, because I mean, okay, so the thing of it is that I've always had a problem with not necessarily the man, because the man can have his actions, he could have his antics, it's whatever. He could just be. But what I've always had a problem with is the attention that society has given to him. I'm sorry, but from the very beginning that I saw, I think there was a video of him dancing on an underage girl.
Yeah.
That was it for me.
The female police officer had to
I did
tell
not want
him.
to see a video of this man. I did not want to read any story about this man. I did not want to hear anything about him. Because I think this is where the problem starts in society. We give attention to the wrong things and to the wrong people. Right? So
Who is we? Who is we, right? Who is we?
We as in society.
Okay,
Everybody.
so the ones that are loudest per se,
Yes.
right? They would give attention to this sort of stuff. This is not the first time that Maxi Priest has made headlines, per se. I've been told that, well, from what you hear him say, sometimes he's a pretty smart guy, but I think the alcohol would have gotten the better of him.
I did say
So I think the bigger issue here is the effects of alcoholism, one, and the fact that we don't have proper means of rehabilitation. You can go to like mental health rehabilitation center, but
but how many
are they gonna get like the
How
best?
many other alcoholics who do we see around who gets the same sort of level of attention that he does?
They might get attention, but it's okay. So they wouldn't get the same level,
Right.
You're
And
right.
and this
More
is what
so on a
he's-
community level.
he goes by social media personality.
Because
yes, he's
technically,
out
once
there.
you are
Correct.
internet
Correct.
famous, you are a social media personality.
Correct.
And that's why he does everything. He has his own profile on Facebook.
Yeah.
He
Right.
posts his stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point during his incarceration, you will see some posts coming out on
Yeah.
social media from his profile. I wouldn't be surprised.
Pull the cartel
Listen to the end of the story. In mitigation, McDonald told the court that he was drunk and could not recall what happened. He said he was drunk before leaving home and did not know about the incident until someone told him about it the following day.
Just like how he didn't know about what happened at the fete with the girl.
Yeah, well, as Christal said, he would have 2 years to sober up.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
But-
So yeah, and
Maybe you could find Jesus.
the lack of
too.
attention would come off of him.
Lack
that's,
of
that's all I
attention.
want. That's all I want.
No.
We
We'll
give
see.
attention to the wrong thing.
He,
I'm
he,
gonna
might,
bet-
he might get it for the 2 years, but when he come back out to the same antics, people going to tune in to see the foolish.
Well, hopefully, y'all enthusiasm, I'm saying y'all loosely. Y'all enthusiasm for him has died out significantly.
But the as Christal rightfully said, what we should take away from this is the effects of alcoholism.
Mm.
Because in the Caribbean, rum is part of our culture, so we're fine with whatever comes with the rum. He's not the first, he's not the last. After
True.
Carnival, during Carnival, the most fighting because of rum, the most stabbing.
Just the
But
other day.
your village drunk, is he known to the rest of society in the way that Maxi Priest
Maybe
is?
not
There's
yet.
there's not a camera pointed at him.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So you're talking about the effects of rum. I'm talking about who we give attention to.
And both of them are problems.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
they are. Probably sometimes it's who is around you too. There was a video with him. There was some event on the tarmac, and somebody recorded. Some people obviously, because by that time they knew him. He was scaling the fence, so he was up there gallivanting on the fence, trying to get into the fence. Because people were wondering, like, how you getting in all them parties here? But we're right. I think we highlight the nonsense for entertainment, and it doesn't help the person who is being highlighted in this case here, because I'm absolutely certain in between the 100 comments of kiki kiki kiki, there's 1 or 2 persons in there who would actually say what needs to be done. And like, we take these things for granted and what's not. Maxi needs to clean himself up and come better and what's not, but they'll be ignored because I think maybe from his perspective too, or anybody's perspective, once you get a bit of attention online, once you get attention online these days, you make it.
And you get an inflated ego as well.
Okay, false sense of security too. And they just continue. It just keeps rolling and rolling. So you're going to continue doing strippiness because people are buying into it.
I'm not on the Eyewitness News comment section, but the articles itself have comments.
Mhm,
And then
mhm.
2 comments say, wow, Maxi need to stop drinking. The next comment, you realize drinking has to stop, I believe they try to say, and it's never a good idea. So people see the problem.
No. Well,
But
no more than before
Yeah.
in terms of the ratio of the jokes versus the seriousness.
And is it now because he's gone to jail? Where were these comments before? Maybe they were there.
Just like
to be
the Suki
papers.
saga.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people feel how you feel.
Yeah.
That you should not be given the attention.
Another quick point. I feel that some people who think along these lines, where they identify a problem with somebody who is getting a lot of unwarranted attention, they do not feel comfortable speaking up because they get a lot of backlash from other folks who find it funny. So let me sit here and be quiet and just watch you guys disintegrate or whatever until, and I'll make one comment, and then in the future, well,
Yeah.
it's all coming.
It's on. Everybody's saying the same thing. You
What?
need to stop drinking, let go the rum, all these things. Somebody said, well, before there were different episodes, why didn't somebody try to stop him? Or
But
help
he
him?
also needs to want to stop though.
That's also
So if he doesn't want to stop, and you cannot hold him against his will, right?
that is
He's
true.
not going to stop.
But then that's the thing, because the alcohol would have been fueling his behavior. His behavior has resulted in him being termed a social media personality.
Someone
Why
said,
would he stop?
Someone said no more rum for the next 2 years. That will be a long period for your rehabilitation.
Rehabilitative process. You guys
But
really think that he's
it's
gonna
true.
come out sober? But this is not the way to do it, though.
This is not the way to do it.
It's not the way to do it. We're out of times. 3 minutes after 9 o'clock.
Okay, yes.
I hope that you get the help that you need. Maybe this is divine intervention. It's a weird divine intervention, but maybe this is what you need. Some time away from whatever is fueling what. But you have to want it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I would have felt better if the
Wish you the
intervention
best.
didn't come at someone else's expense.
Exactly. Right. Father God in this place. Coming up next is the ECCB Bank Race that's brought to you. Compliments the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's 9:03. Let's move on to that. And immediately following that, gonna see if anybody won Lotto last night. It wasn't me though.
Brick by brick, piece by piece, building with technology, helping wealth increase. Starting small, building the future, doing more every day, doing more together.